This is the Force USA Compact Leg Press and Hack Squat Combo. It's supposed to save space and build legs, but there's just one problem. The range of motion sucks. So I did what any rational person would do. I hacked it twice. I made a YouTube short on this hack a while back and it blew up. It's my most searched video. So now we're doing the full version. The problem, the hacks, and why the combined fix is the cleanest way to unlock full ROM. Here's the issue. In hack squat mode, the sled is just too long. The back pad hits the bottom before your legs ever will. It's not being lazy. The machine literally won't let you go any deeper. The first hack, the Titan Fitness rubber lifting tiles. Each one is 24 by 24 inches, 1.6 inches thick. They are about $110 to buy a pair of two. They're heavy duty and nearly indestructible. By standing on them, you raise your feet 1.6 inches, which forces the sled further up at the bottom. Suddenly, you're actually squatting closer to depth. The next hack, a budget $18 trip to Home Depot. 2 packs of 80mm cap screws, 4 nylon spacers. You swap them in under the shoulder pad assembly and you instantly lower the pads. Same effect as the tiles, it forces the sled further away from the bottom, just for way less money. All right, so let me show you how quick and easy the setup on this stuff is. You really only need to use this for just one measurement. Let me show you where. You want to cut this hole out first. The reason being is you're going to measure down here to the base of it, and well, let me start that over again. You have to have the diameter of this hole, which is essentially 2 inches by 2 inches. So measure down from the top with this off to get your starting point. And then I use a Dremel multi-tool with the wooden metal square attachment, which I'm going to show right here for you. It goes through this like butter. The reason you do this first is because when you cut that out, using your calf block backwards, you can adjust the depth of how far in it goes. So normally you'd have it like this when you're using it, but I set it up one because it makes a perfect platform or a perfect base for this first cut. You get that first cut on, then you don't have to measure anything else. Just slide the sled down. And you still want the sled base to actually touch, because you want this to still go down as far as you can. You just want your body up further. So you just take a marker and mark out where you need to make the cuts for the sled to still reach the bottom. Then you use the Dremel and you just cut those out. And this process takes maybe 10 minutes. Now on this, it's even simpler. You've got these 4 bolts here. You do need to go to Home Depot and replace them with longer ones, which I will put in the description, the ones that I actually used. Where you get these bolts at Home Depot, in the same drawer, are the spacers. I went with the deepest spacers they had, which were just 1/2 inch. You could probably order deeper ones. Dropping this 1/2 inch and raising that, I can still bottom out, but I have to be fully warmed up and stretched. And it's at my absolute max. So it's almost kind of like a box squat, I guess. I can't rest there because it's such a deep stretch, it actually hurts my knees a little bit. The reason I did it this way, because you could just drop these. You could raise this up higher. Just looks a little odd when you've got a platform that's twice as high. It doesn't look like it belongs. And with these down lower, I was a little nervous about with too much weight on it that the stability of the pad might kind of switch back and forth a little bit. I just think doing one here, it's a pretty clean, and it's probably what they should have done from the factory. Designed this smaller, made these pads a little bit deeper, somehow figured out the base plate a little bit better so this doesn't happen. I have seen people do different configurations down here. You can go with something cheaper than these Titan ones. I like the Titan ones because I use them for deficit deadlifts. Since it comes with 2, I can put this one on the bottom and put the other one on top of it. So I have about a 3-inch deficit when I'm doing deadlifts. So they get multi-use. But like I said, I think this is probably the best way to update their new, well, I shouldn't say they're new because they keep coming out with new versions, which is one of the downsides of Force USA. Talking to the engineer at Home Gym Con, they're probably going to fix this in a new iteration. But if you're one of the unlucky ones like me who owns the older models, this is a fairly cheap way to bring this to where it should have been from the factory. Out of the box, the Force USA sled, it's decent, it's shallow. You add the Titan tile hack, it gets better. Add the Home Depot hack, it gets even better. You combine the two of them together and it feels awesome. For under $130, it's probably the best DIY hack I've made for my home gym. Links will be in the description. Subscribe for more hacks, reviews, and gear breakdowns.